What is up, you guys? The King1337 coming to show them my review / is it worth for the K70 RGB keyboard. This is going to be one of the gaming keyboards, one of the most popular gaming keyboards. And if any of you guys are trying to get it around the holidays, it was sold out for a really long time. There's a couple websites. I'll link some of them down in the description below if you are so interested in getting one of these. The stocks are very limited, so it is somewhat hard to get one of these guys right now. I haven't seen them at any major retailers since probably like November range. So I would say this is probably the most popular one of all the gaming keyboards, but doesn't necessarily make it the best. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. The first thing is going to be just the design. As you can see here, it's going to be a really good looking keyboard. I just have it set up on a profile that I've downloaded. It's just going to be kind of a green corrosive profile, fading in and out with the LEDs. I actually decided to get the brown one, the brown switches on mine. I believe it comes in the regular blue, red, green, and brown. I think it comes with all four options. I went with the brown just because I like the quieter approach. That's a little bit more beneficial for me because I'm streaming a lot and I'm doing a lot of videos while I'm using my keyboard. So it's a little bit more beneficial for me to have the subtle clicks. I still like the responsiveness that you get while using the brown switches because it's pretty much equivalently responsive as you're using any of the other colored switches, just the tone's a lot lower. And that's something that I really do prefer. I'm going to flip over to a flyby camera right now. As you can see by the flyby, this right here is going to be a really good looking keyboard. You can see the hand hilt on the bottom that is removable. I really do enjoy that. There is almost like a little gap which you can see in here, which is going to be a brief little gap between the keys and the baseboard. It's got a nice aluminum finish as we go along the top side here. You're going to get a good look at the volume control, the track changing buttons, the light switches, the lock button, and then we also have the profiles on the flip side. I've seen all that stuff, so I do really like the design of it. So it does look really visually appealing. So I really do like that aspect of it. I think that it does look really good. It's going to look like that nice, clean, really professional finish, kind of like that of the DOS keyboard that I've done in a few reviews past. Now there is one thing that is a little bit weird about this when it comes to the appearance. There is no external USB port on the keyboard at all, which is weird considering that it requires two USBs to plug in to work. I think that is kind of odd, considering the DOS has one keyboard, one USB in, and then you get a two-port switcher, or two-port output, and then the Razer requires two, but that's only for the extra port. This one requires two just to operate. I think that's very weird. It's the only one that's like that. And then also, as with the flyby, you probably noticed there are no macro keys, and for the price point, this one's one of the few that doesn't have macro keys on it. I'm going to show you guys a quick little setup of the lighting profiles. As you can see here, this is going to be the profile setup for this keyboard. I'm just going to have it set up on the corrosive one, which is the one I predominantly use here. I'm just going to go through a couple ones real quick and show you some cool things. For example, this one right here is going to be my favorite one. It's going to be the Pac-Man one. As you can see, it's going to continually oscillate through. It's really cool on the keyboard. And now as you see from like the back end version, it's a little bit complex. I mean, you have all these different groups and whatnot. And just the assignments, the performance, and all that stuff, and it is really, honestly, kind of complex. We flip through here, we have this thunderstorm one as well. The possibilities with these are really endless, but if you're not very tech savvy, it's probably going to be more beneficial for you to find a YouTube video which has the profile already prefabricated and done for you. There are a lot of them which work for the K70, the K65, and the K95 as well. And you can just kind of flip through them and just do whatever you want with them, really. Some of them have special on-key press commands. Some of them rotate in and out whenever you hit the page break key. But I'm going to show you real quick how to import one as well, because this part I think is kind of weird. You hit the import settings right here, and we're going to import this Christmas one right here. You double-click on it. It works instantaneously. Sometimes it does not do that. This one has a stripe functionality and a color fade functionality. But for some odd reason, if I go back and I import another one, it's going to ask me this right here. I really wish that this would have like an accept all checkbox. That is something they really need to put in, because for me to do this, I'm going to have to continually hit add as new for days, and then you misclick and make bad things happen. But all in all, I really do enjoy this, but my biggest issue, like I said, is going to be the color brightness. Like for example, if we just take this, make this profile really quickly, we're going to take all this and we're going to set up it as white. You can see how just amazingly bright that it is right now. If we flip it over, let's say we make it something like green, still going to be really bright. But now let's say if we take these two keys right here and make them purple, and then we take, say, these three, make these purple, and then we make these purple, and we just rotate in here and we make some random keys, some random colors. One thing that you'll definitely start to notice is going to be that the colors are really faded. They're really washed out. I don't know why, but whenever you have multiple colors on the same piece, like for example, if I make this one like pink, it's not going to be that vibrant. But if I go through this whole section and make it pink, it's going to be more vibrant. That's something I think is very odd about this coloring scheme. I don't know if it's a software issue or if it's actually the lights can't delegate power well enough, or what the issue is. But that's something I find that's really unfortunate. But all in all, I really do like the lighting profiles because, like I said, you can do some really cool stuff. From like the Christmas ones to the corrosive one to the Pac-Man to the just anything you want. The possibilities are basically endless. And I think that's a really cool aspect of this keyboard. However, at the end, I really don't like the fact that the lights are somewhat dim compared to some of its competitors. And I'm going to flip over real quick and just kind of wrap this video up real fast for you guys. So now that you've seen the LED light profiling effects, I would think that is one of the shortcomings, and I'll outline a few more real quick. Like I said before, the 2 USBs being required with no output one, I do think that's kind of weird, and I do think that's very inconvenient. Another thing is going to be the volume controls, which you see up here in the top corner. I don't know if my drivers never installed correctly because I tried to completely wipe the drivers and redo it, but none of these worked natively. I had to go in and manually set them up, which is very unique because like all the other major manufacturers, these things just worked right out of the box. Because I kept finding myself using the volume rocker and nothing was happening. So I completely wiped them and then redid them. It could have just been an issue with my PC, but I kind of think that it's like that because I've seen other people searching for that on the internet as well. And then couple that with the dim lighting and whatnot and still not being able to have the macros, I'm not sure if it's the best option for the price point considering the competitors. But with that being said, almost all products are going to have some shortcomings as well. Like I said, I'm going to be releasing a video comparing all 4 of the major keyboards, letting you guys know kind of the differences in all of them, so I'm trying not to compare it a whole lot to the other guys as well. But all in all, for 170 bucks, you are getting a really good keyboard. It's going to be really durable. It feels amazing, like it in the flyby. Aluminum finish, looks good, feels good. Everything about it is a really clean, proficient design. As like I said, with the 2 USB ports and then the kind of dim lighting, those are the really only negatives. If you are going to be gaming extensively, you do lose those macro keys, so that is something to consider when you're spending this much money. They do have the K95, but the K95 is going to be a decent chunk more money. I think this one's going to be $169.99, and the K95 is normally going to be $199, I believe. But those prices do fluctuate with sales and whatnot as well. But all in all, I think it's a really good keyboard. This keyboard is my daily driver. This is the one that I'm going to be using moving forward as well. So I do really enjoy this guy, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one for you or it's the best one overall. Because like I said, all of them do have shortcomings. It's kind of outweighing which one works best for you. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, just feel free to let me know down in the description below. And if you do enjoy this video and this kind of content, as always, spank that like button. It helps me out a ton. But thank you guys for watching. Peace out.